And our first speaker is Almighty May, and honoring our innate wisdom. Honoring our innate wisdom, Almighty May.
Do you have fond memories from your childhood? Who here remembers sharing a close bond with a special animal companion as a kid? Many, if not most of us. Children have an innate kinship with animals. We're taught as little children to show kindness to animals, share, tell the truth, and the golden rule: treat others as you would like to be treated. What happens as we grow older? Do we still follow this wisdom? No. Well, sometimes we're given mixed messages, that it's okay to show compassion to some beings, but not to others. When I was a young girl, I enjoyed companionship with dogs and cats. They were my friends. And as an aspiring future veterinarian, they were also to be my patients one day. I was raised vegetarian because my grandfather witnessed what happened in a slaughterhouse. And from that point onward, he vowed, with my grandmother, never to eat land animals again, creating a tradition which was passed to my mom and then to me. It made sense for me to be a vegetarian because, after all, animals were my friends. Why would I want to eat my friends? Or my future patients? Consequently, I never felt the urge to rebel and start eating meat. When I entered college, I joined a vegetarian club on campus. As I learned more about what happens to animals in factory farms, I was shocked. I was devastated to learn that in the egg industry, male chicks are killed on their first day of life because of their no monetary value to the egg industry. They're either crushed or gassed to death. I was horrified to learn that hens have their beaks seared with a hot blade without any painkillers or anesthesia because they're crammed so tightly in battery cages they'll cannibalize each other otherwise. When I learned about what dairy cows go through, I was heartbroken. Male calves are stolen away from their mothers on their first day of life and crammed into tiny crates where they can't move around or exercise, just so their flesh will be tender, so they're slaughtered at 4 months of age for veal. Meanwhile, their mothers grieve tremendously for the loss of their babies. Dairy cows are repeatedly impregnated with artificial insemination in order to continue producing milk. But instead of it going for their babies, who it's supposed to be for, it is sold for human consumption. Dairy cows are slaughtered by their 5th birthday because at that point their milk productivity has declined to where it's no longer profitable to keep them. When I learned these things, I could no longer look at an omelet or an ice cream sandwich in the same way. I was determined to be vegan. Once I made that decision, a whole new world of amazing, delicious vegan options opened up to me, including scrumptious alternative baking company cookies, or soy delicious coconut milk ice cream, woohoo! Or the Daya vegan cheese pizza, Little did I know that I didn't have to sacrifice taste to honor my innate wisdom. There was an added bonus in that these plant versions of these favorite foods of mine were also healthier for my body than the animal versions of them. Before I entered veterinary school, I spent some time at the milking exhibit at the State Fair in Sacramento. During this time, I witnessed 4-H exhibits. 4-H is a program in which kids are entrusted with raising a farmed animal such as a pig, cow, or sheep until ready to be sold off for slaughter. Now, many times, these kids form deep, close bonds with these animals that they care for. And when it comes time to send them off to slaughter, it is heartbreaking for them. Over time, they become resigned to that fate. These animals eventually will be killed. They're told that it's normal and necessary, that this is what we have to do to feed the millions of hungry people. What they don't know is that we can actually feed many millions more by cultivating plant crops directly, rather than funneling the soy, corn, and grain to be fed to livestock. Did you know that it takes 12 pounds of grain to produce just 1 pound of grain-fed beef? As a veterinarian, I provide medical care to my patients and alleviate pain and discomfort when I encounter it. As a volunteer for Mercy for Animals, a nonprofit farmed animal advocacy organization, I have seen undercover investigations showing egregious cruelty and neglect to farmed animals. I have seen with my own eyes what these animals go through. I was called upon to witness a duck meat farm raid. What I saw, I will never forget. Ducks flailing on their backs, unable to get to their food source because of the poorly maintained wire mesh flooring. Birds with injuries, bloodied feathers, leg deformities. Sadly, this is not an anomaly. Animals are treated with cruelty and neglect on all types of factory farms. But there's some good news here. We can remove our support from these cruel industries by going vegan. It's the best thing we can do for our health, the kindest thing we can do for the animals, and the most responsible thing we can do for our planet. Please, join me. Honor your innate wisdom. When we align our deeply held values, the ones we were instilled with as children, with our daily choices, life becomes more meaningful and fulfilling. Let's make this world a better place for all. Toastmaster.
Let's take a minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots.